hello, welcome. My name is Holly. This is my channel about cross stitch, sometimes knitting, oftentimes knitting is thrown in, sometimes quilting or stitching and sewing, and I'm glad you're here today. If you are new, thank you for joining. I welcome you and I hope that you'll stick around. If you're returning, thanks for being here again. You're my friends. It's been a really lovely few weeks since we last talked. I had shared that we'd come off a really rough week the last time we talked with illness and things like that, but it's been a great few weeks and I've done some fun things since we last talked, so I thought I would share with you. The first thing I did, and I think I had told you this was coming, is I had a Zoom to start a birthday stitch with Sarah Stitchy Spot, Stitching Bunny, Judy, and Marcy. Marcy, I don't know your Instagram handle if you are watching, but we talked together. It was so fun. I had just done one of Sarah's monthly Zooms she does with her Flosstube channel, and this was just the four of us starting and stitching, and I had shared that I really wanted to do, okay, back up. We are stitching A Daily Reminder by Brenda Gervais. And it is a really beautiful chart, and I got to see the model at market when I was so lucky to get to go back in March. And on the cover of the chart, the fabric looks brown, and so I had mentioned that I really wanted to find a brown fabric, and I think I showed a few choices. But as soon as we started Zooming, the girls, oh, this is not it. The girls had already chosen, and they were all stitching on the called for linen. And so I said, fine, I'll do it too. And I'm really glad I did because it's really pretty. Let's see if I can show it to you. I've been stitching on it the last few days. It is not ironed. Let me smooth it out for you. Look how far it's come along. The letters across the top, and we'll go down the side, those are Smyrna stitches, and they're a lot of fun, and they go pretty quickly. And you may or may not know that I love stitching houses, so I've had lots of fun working on that house. And it says be good and do good, and it's a daily reminder. That's the name of it. And isn't that the truth? That's what we should be doing daily. Again, it's by Brenda Gervais, which is With Thy Needle and Thread. If you follow Brenda, she has had a new grandbaby who's been in the hospital, and her grandbaby Maisie got to go home. So that's exciting for her. But this is a birthday start with my friends, and they did a birthday sal last year. Their birthdays, I think, are just a few days apart. I even wrote it down. Oh, I made a note somewhere. And my birthday is in that same week, so they were really kind to let me join in as well. My birthday is coming up. I think today might be, what is today? June 22nd. My birthday's in 3 more days. It's gonna be super hot here in Dayton, Ohio this week. Like, I'm kind of mad about it. 95 all week. So I'll be inside a lot. Maybe I'll just stitch on my birthday this year. But that was a new start, and I've been working on it ever since because it's pretty addicting, and I don't have too much more. I do. I still have the yard, basically, these trees, and some more letters to get in, but it seems very doable that I could get this done soon, don't you think? If you've been here long, you know I love a peacock, I said it right, a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger by Scarlet Letter. This is what the chart looks like. And I pulled that out because every time I see someone working on it, it makes me want to get mine out and work on it. Here is what she looks like right now. Oh, you know what? Let me go back and say the fabric for A Daily Reminder is Arboreal from Cedar River Linen, and I believe mine is 40 count. And it has a start on that same piece of a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger, because that's what I was going to use. So now I will tell you that this fabric is called Pub Crawl, and it is by Roxy Floss Co., and you can get it on Evertote. And I'm using the DMC floss, and I believe since I showed it last, I've worked over here and maybe this leaf. I'm trying to work my way across to the big sun over there. But for comparison, I'm gonna bend down and grab the Cedar River so that you can just see the difference, because some people are curious about the two. And you can see this is more of a brown green, if you can say that, and this is more of a blue green, just in case you're wanting to start it and thinking about fabrics. Now, this is stitched on a piece of light or white linen, and it's, what do you call that? Full coverage. All of that green is actually stitched. And I knew it was already gonna take me a long time to do it, so I chose to do fabric instead of doing the, why are words hard today? Instead of the background stitching. It could be a rough video if words are gonna be this hard already. Okay, that's that. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, can I get to it? Yes, I can. I was a very lucky girl and got invited to Stitch with Friends. You may remember that I went to Shelley Fry, which is the antique needleworker. I went to her mill and stitched with the Queen City Sampler group. And so I got an invite for a special Stitchy day. This was a pre-StitchCon day with Shelley and Carrie Tiger Lily, Jen Nasca, who's coming back to Flosstube, and my friend Lisa Duffin, which I was so excited. She is Lady Huzzah Presents. And Lisa and I have connected on Instagram. First of all, we stitch a lot of things in common. And second of all, we both have daughters who have or are going through cancer treatment. And so we have just shared a lot as moms. And so it was so fun for me to get to meet Lisa in person. I'd already met Shelley and Carrie and Jen. So Lisa was the one I didn't know. So I arrived that morning. It was so fun. Shelley fed us delicious food, as Shelley does, and hosted us in her amazing mill. You must go watch on her channel, which is Antique Needleworkers, when she has a mill tour. I think she had one quite a while ago, but it is just, it's like a retreat center. I said, you can have us for retreats, please, because it's just so peaceful and beautiful. But as friends are often known to do, there were gifts given. And let's see, I have a stack here, so I might tumble, but look what Carrie made for us. Carrie Tiger Lily lives in Mount Vernon, Virginia, and we are big history fans, my husband and me. And so this was so fun. This was a tea towel that, of course, Carrie made into a project bag. And she bought a George Washington pen, and her Patrick made it into a needle minder for us. And she also gave, I'm sorry, I was watching kids running across my backyard. She also gave us a beautiful notebook. But isn't this fun? I love Carrie bags. So this was a really fun surprise. Throwing things on the floor, clean that up later. I was given this beautiful necklace by my friend Lisa. And look at this. This kind of still makes the hairs on my arms stand up. I love quilts. I was raised in a quilt family. Like, we slept under quilts on beds. My grandmother, my great-grandmother were quilters. They were utilitarian quilts. They weren't made for, you know, for the beauty of it, but they were made for function and use. I have a quilt that was made out of my mother's kindergarten dresses. Like, I love old quilts. And Shelley has some cutter quilts, and she made us each a project bag. Look at it. Oh, this was so kind. Made me so happy. This is my first Shelley bag, I believe. There's a really cute little tag that has our name on it. That's a piece of a quilt. And then inside, she gifted us all this chart, which is Be a Friend by Needlework Press. and we decided to omit this little floral piece right here and instead stitch our initials, those who were at the mill that day. So we were trying to hurry and stitch, mostly because they are all going to StitchCon A together. And so I needed to get over there so that I could stitch on theirs and they could stitch on mine. So it's not your conventional start. And I have dangling threads because of how I got there, but this is my start on it. And those are all of our initials that we've put in. This is on a piece of 36 count Seraphim antique lace that Shelly gave us. She gave us everything we needed to get it started. It's actually a little bit lighter, maybe that's it. So isn't that fun? Carrie and I were talking about how we wanted to do it. I love this. This would be just a really beautiful small for a friend, but I was thinking about just stitching this row and maybe making a, again with the words, drum, with a drum, make a drum out of it and omit the alphabets and borders, but we'll see, we'll see. Again, I love stitching houses. I think it'll be fun because there's so many little motifs that are like a completion each time you finish one. So that was a very kind gift from Shelly at my day at the mill. We got to, let's see, I had met her granddaughter, Veda, the first time I went to the mill, and this time I got to meet Davy, her grandson, and her son and daughter-in-law. So it's a really fun place to be. Okay, next happened. Graham, my grandson, had a procedure and he was in the hospital overnight. He did great with it. And we had Ruby for two nights. And my daughter Emily and family came down from Cleveland. And Emily is mom, well, and her husband Danny also came, but Emily is mom to 4 of my grands, which are Leo, Penny, Rory, and Stella. And Stella and Ruby are really close in age, so I'd been so excited to see those little toddler girls together, and we had so much fun with them. For Father's Day, Emily had scored tickets to the Savannah Bananas baseball game. So the big three and my son-in-law and my husband went to the Savannah Bananas game that night, and Emily, Stella, Ruby, and I stayed home and played, and oh, we just had so much fun. And then we played together the next day, grilled out burgers, and then they had to go home. But we had a great time together. And Graham was discharged in time for my daughter Julia and her husband Michael to come over and have burgers with us too. So that was a really good weekend. I feel like I don't get to see my out-of-town grands as much as my grandma heart would like to. So it's always really fun when I get to see them. And then, you know what happened next? So because I live in Dayton, I'm very close to Cincinnati, which is where StitchCon is held. And StitchCon happens frequently when we vacation with our grandkids at the beach. But this year, because of Julia's ankle surgery and one of my son-in-law's changing jobs, we're backing that up until July. So last minute, I got a spot in StitchCon Weekend B, which is actually going on today still, but I didn't go down today. And it's so perfect for me because it's about 40 minutes from my house and I can come home every night and sleep in my own bed, come and go as I please. So I got to go to StitchCon. I wasn't really sure who all was going to be at StitchCon, and my friend Missy told me that Joy and Emma Kay, the Carolina Stitchers, were going to be there. So I reached out and said, do you have room at your table? And they said yes. So I got to stitch with Joy and Emma Kay, and they are just as lovely in person as they are on their Flosstube. And Angie and Jeannie were at our table, and I had met them at Stitch Away a couple of years ago, so I was very excited to sit with them again. They are friends of Joy and Emma Kay. And then Nana Kay, which is Karen, who was a vendor in the annex, sat at our table. We just had the best time together. I introduced them to Grater's Ice Cream, which is a Cincinnati must-have when you're here. So we had that last night. I think we had it for dinner last night. I DoorDashed it. And oh, it was just really good. I have to cancel as many retreats as I end up going to because something comes up, you know, with Graham or a family something or other. So it's really great for me when I can do something last minute, when it works, and it worked, and it was great. I got to meet Niecy Lynn. Do you watch her? She's so Southern from Texas, and I've watched her since I came back to cross stitching. And so that was really fun. And her friend Patty Penn, who, I love you, Patty Penn. I got to meet her. Let's see, who else did I meet that I hadn't met before? I tried to write it down. Abby Topknot and her sister Vanessa. And I told her, had I had a fifth girl, her name was gonna be Vanessa. And then I got to see so many people I haven't seen in so long. I got to see Caitlin, which is Stitch, Read, Repeat. I adore Caitlin. I love her. She is good people. So I got to talk with her a little bit yesterday. I got to see Dottie of Stitching with Scotties, and Dottie is always so sweet to talk to. Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. I got to chat with her a little bit. Who else did I see? The Pink Stitchers were there. My sister's samplers were there. Pam and Steph obviously were there. Cousin Christy was there from Floss Boss and Cousins, and her girls Holly Hogue and Greta, who is opening a needle workshop in Alabama. Megan, the Southern Sassy Stitcher, got to see her. I'm probably gonna forget people. And then I got to meet so many people who said, I know you, who watch, and you're so sweet. I can't believe you guys watch me jabber on about my making, but I'm so thankful. Two lovely ladies brought me over beautiful bags they had made. Let me see if I can show you in my pile. I'll show you table mate gifts and things I brought home with me. This was made by Nana Kay, and she had these in the annex, and it is just a great little project holder. You can have some little scissors in there, your needles, etc. Isn't that pretty? And I love this fabric. I don't know if it's French General, but it sure looks like it. And I had my second French General Zoom this week also. I haven't done the work on it yet. I don't think I've shown you what I did. Did I show you the bag that I started? Probably not. I'll try to get that. I'll lay this here to maybe remember. I'll probably forget. Then, so Angie at my table and Jeannie they've been friends a long time with each other, and they were going to go together and make these projects. Then Angie went and broke her sweet shoulder 5 weeks ago, so Jeannie had to step up and make our prizes. Look at this. Jeannie made us these. I love this. It kind of reminds me of rifle paper. My oldest daughter Alyssa is a huge rifle paper fan. And this coordinating little bag. And then look at these flosses they gave us that match. Isn't that fun? And a little floss bling. So that was sweet, and I love it. And then Emma Kay got a sewing machine and is learning to sew, and she made us project bags. Isn't that, look how great she did. I'm really proud of her. We were talking about sewing and making pillows and that kind of thing. And then it had a finishing board in it. It had this cute little red heart. And this floss. They love Halloween and 4th of July. So that is so them. So those are my prizes from my table mates. You guys, what are the chances I'm gonna remember to go get that bag? What are the chances I can tell you where it is? I can. Hold, please. Okay, I got it. It's right here in the way, but I'm gonna finish talking to you about StitchCon first. Then I'll show it to you. Watch, I'll still forget to talk about it. We'll try. But while I was away, I had one of my favorite snacks and my favorite beverages. Do you like sparkly water? I'm kind of picky about it. The Whole Foods Black Cherry is my favorite sparkly water. And look at this new candy I found. Remember a few months ago when I was telling you what a candy fiend I am? I love sweet tarts, and these are delicious, just in case you're looking for a new treat. Okay, back to what I was talking about. 2 sweet viewers brought me prizes. This one was made by Terry Johnston, I'm sorry. There's her information. I don't think, oh, wait a minute. What did you tell me, Terry? There's a shop opening and these are gonna be for sale in it. Is that right? I think I remember that. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? It's Tilda Fabrics. I think it's my first something of Tilda Fabrics, unless I have a Tiger Lily, something from her club. Isn't it fantastic? I cannot wait to load it up and use it. So thank you, Terry. Terry has medical grandma stuff in common with me. So that's that. Then I loved meeting Jennifer. She has another medical thing in common with me, and I think she said she made these as table mate gifts, and she gave me one because she had one. It was so sweet. I took both of their pictures because I wanted to remember their faces, and when I use them I can think of them. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but it was so sweet. We got so many fun things, like every time you got up and sat back down you had prizes at your table that somebody was passing out. I took a little video of all of mine spread out. I'll try to remember to maybe put it at the end. Okay, I bought one thing. Can you believe I had such restraint? Because I cannot. Sorry if that's distracting. The La-Di-Da stitched pieces. What do you call those? Are you worried about my brain today? I think I'm tired from StitchCon. Models. La-Di-Da models. Woo. Oh, they're beautiful. I think I love all things. I need to be stitching more La-Di-Da. But I heard this quote a couple of months ago, and it was very profound and moving to me, and you all probably know it, but if all of our troubles were hung on a tree, you would take yours. No, wait a minute. If all of your troubles were hung on a line, that's gonna make this rhyme. Let's start again. If all of our troubles were hung on a line, you would take yours and I would take mine. I can't remember who I was talking about, but it was somebody else who has some medical issues, and we were saying if once we learn about what other people are going through, we think, you know what, I'll just keep my problems. Thank you. Like, everybody's going through hard things, and if you aren't now, you have been or you will be. That's just how life is. And I love this. My Stitchy friends in my texting thread are all bird watchers right now. They all have those cameras that identify what's come to their feeder, so they're always talking about birds. So it made me think about all my friends. But that was my only purchase in the annex. But Angie is so generous, and she was going to be putting things on the freebie table and let us go through them first. Can I show you the things that Angie let me have? I got a Spanish Red by Running with Needles and Scissors. I got Crumpets and Tea by Brenda Gervais. I had never seen this before. Thank You Sarah Tobias by Blackbird. And I believe this is the original Sarah's needle roll that just came out at Market. Christmas Garden by Blackbird. Teresa, you're stitching this, right? I think I'm gonna have to join you. I got Manor at Swan Lake by Brenda Gervais. And then I've told you before about holly and things with holly on it, because there was never a lot with holly on it when I was growing up. And so look at all that holly on there. I picked that Christmas thing up. And then a couple of older Christmas ornament magazines. Isn't that fun? I do not have a lot of haul today. And so this is new additions, new acquisitions, but I didn't pay for them. They were gifts. Okay, what else about StitchCon can I tell you? I'll show you what else I worked on. How about that? So I worked on a daily reminder that I already showed you. And then I'm trying to make progress on this that I showed you that I'd started by Violets and Verses. I'm making it for one of my son-in-laws. Also, when I was in the annex and I was talking about La-Di-Da, I figured out when I want to make my other son-in-law, who's a pastor and has an office. So more to come on that because I already had the chart, so I just have to find it. But Violets and Verses, The Lord is My Shepherd. And here is my progress. I am using Cloister Cream by Legacy Linen, 38 count. I always stitch on a blanket size piece. And this is how I'm going. I had shown you last time that the called for color is an error in the chart. So I have ripped this out and I'm redoing it in the correct color, which is, this one's correct. I haven't done the couple lines that go in here. So I have made progress since I last shown you. I've made it all the way across with this border. And I had mentioned, I think I'm just gonna do the top and the bottom and not the sides. Someone commented that I should do the sides. I'll get it done without the sides and see if I think I need to add. But this is coming along. His birthday's in August, and I think I can have it finished and framed by August. The church, I started to say lid, roof. Caitlin, aren't gonna worry about me yet. The roof was also supposed to be done in this darker, but I think the roof is fine, so I'm not gonna take it out. Because frogging stitches is zero fun. I frogged while I sat there and I feel like it took me forever. The other thing I worked on was a French rose by running with needles and scissors. Mary Ballet, you know how much I love this. I am using Roxy Floss Croquet as my floss, which is beautifully variegated. This is a Legacy Fiber Arts fabric, covered bridge in 36 count. And here is how it's coming along. Oh, I love pink. And you know, speaking of pink, let's do that right now. The last time we talked, I have 2 of this chart. So I said, use the word pink in a comment and I will give it to a viewer. And I did the random comment picker. And Julie Walcott 4694, you are the winner of A Study in Pink. And many of you like pink like I do. So Julie, if you will email me at hobbiesofholly@aol.com, I hope to get it in the Dropbox. I'm not very good at that sometimes, but that's my plan. If you'll email me, I will get this out to you ASAP. Okay, back to this. Isn't it pretty? You know I love Sue's linen from Legacy Fiber Arts. You can purchase it with what she has in stock. Rachel at Treehouse Fiber Arts carries Sue's linen. I haven't heard Sue mention when she's going to be dyeing any more linen. I had checked Rachel's website not long ago, and I know she still has plenty of 46 count, and she has some other colors and counts available. I think she has a good stash of hand-dyed Ada on her website. Is that true, Rachel? Am I making that up? Am I lying? So those were things I worked on at StitchCon. Now, let's see if I can show you my setup, because I was pretty pleased with myself. Okay, this is the French General bag we're going to talk about, and I'm not going to forget to show you. Okay, my friend Teresa, the Garden Goose, if you don't watch Teresa, stop right now and go follow her and then come right back. Teresa is so good to me. For my 60th birthday last year, the girls were very sweet. We had a kind of a mini retreat together, and they really spoiled me for my birthday. Teresa made me this project folder out of an old Holly Hobby quilt. Can you even stand it? And look what she did. Look at all these pockets. I had it full of all of these projects to take to StitchCon because for once, finally, I had my Longaberger basket all decked out and ready for a retreat basket. I'm probably gonna drop things as I show you, but I'm gonna put a picture at the end or the beginning, one or the other. So this is a toothbrush holder that I got on eBay, I believe, with a pair of old scissors in it. And I put that in one of the round spots. Let's see if I can show you. I think I can. I can. Isn't it fun? Okay, I'm gonna take things out one by one and show you. This is part of a Holly Hobby Color Forms that was available a few years ago. It was kind of a reprint. Tammy gave it to me. My friend Kia was brilliant because I was trying to figure out how to put it in this slot in the back, and she went on Amazon and found these flower frogs that this just pops right into. Let me know if you want a link, if you have any need for those. They come in a 6-pack or something. My friend Kathy gave me this little Singer sewing machine wooden thing that fits right here. Let me take it apart maybe. It fits right in this center square. That's just an indentation. This is a flower frog, vintage flower frog. You can find them on Facebook Marketplace, antique stores, Etsy, eBay. Hold on, I have a measuring tape and I can tell you what size. It is about 3 1/4 inches across. That would be the size if you have this. And I stuck a pair of red scissors in it. Okay, because this is sticking here. You know those thimble pads? On really thick linens, such as the Peacock Unicorn and Badger, Legacy linen is really thick, and I use the sewing method when I stitch. I have to have one of these on my thumb. Do you guys use those? A thimble's a little bit bulky, but I find I have them just stuck everywhere. When I'm finished stitching, I just stick it somewhere. Okay, I have this teeny tiny Holly Hobby that I put in her. I had been messaging with my friend Kia. Kia was supposed to be able to come and stitch with us in the hotel today, and she couldn't, but she was making an Ort trash thing for it, and I had seen it and I had pictures of it and I couldn't figure out how to do it, and she kind of talked me through it. So I have a vintage hoop that was inspired by Shelly and Carrie, probably last year when they were together. They were talking about, again, this is a 3-inch vintage hoop that I got on eBay probably. And so I just made this little pocket basically, and all I did was serge the bottom of it together. So that sits in this, I can't think of anything else to do in this rectangular hole right here. If you have any ideas, let me know. And funnest of all, this tray that fits so well in this big opening is from Easy Bake Oven, and it's a muffin tin from a vintage Easy Bake Oven, and you can get those on eBay as well. And in that I have these teeny tiny Saju threads, a little jar of buttons that I think I got from 5 Times Blessed, a little tiny tomato, a little tiny tape measure, and a little tiny pin cushion that is made out of an old French pharmacy box. So that sits in here. It was really fun to have this set up on my table. So this basket is a Longaberger basket, and it, I believe, is a small gathering basket. I know we just measured it at StitchCon because somebody was shopping for it. 9 by 14, I believe, is the dimension. And if you search eBay, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, this is sometimes called the travel lid or the road trip lid. So if you look into them, you can find them. I have found a few of them that I've been able to secure for friends. So, but I'm in Ohio, which is, you know, where Longaberger is. So maybe I have a little easier luck here, but you can also change your search engine in Facebook Marketplace. You can tell it somewhere other than where you are and ask somebody if they'll ship it if you're looking for it. Oh, I met a new friend from Blanchester. I want to say Lisa, am I right about that? Who was inspired, and she had one at StitchCon as well. So that was very fun. And then Sweet Teresa had also given me the extra fabric from the quilt from the bag she made me, and I made a placemat, a table mat for myself too. So I had a whole Holly Hobby set up, and it was really fun. what else do I want to tell you about? Maybe this would be a good time to tell you about this French general class. So I'm taking a French general class, and I believe I learned about it from being on their email list. So every year, the ladies of French General go to France, and they have workshops in France. Can you imagine? Would that not be dreamy? And they go to flea markets and some French word that starts with a B, and they find vintage French finds. But there was a class offered to make this tote bag, to embellish this tote bag. So I bought the kit, and there are 3 Zooms, 2 have happened, and I've only done the first Zoom's homework, and I've had it stuck in here. But this is so far what my bag looks like. The next piece of homework is that we are going to use these apple pops that you use for applique to make little penny type embellishments, and the kit included some hexies, so we can make some hexies, and then it included this beautiful, it's like a pearl cotton thread that we're gonna do embroidery on. That's our 3rd class. I've really, really, really enjoyed it, and if that interests you, get on their email list to see when they'll do so. It sounds like it's something maybe they do every year, but the kit included this amount of fabric that we then cut up and put on the bag with Clover Wonderfuse that I just got on Amazon. And this is their line coming out in the fall, I believe, and I can't remember what it's called, but I'll probably be buying it because it's really pretty. Oh, and it also came with a couple of antique pieces that we're gonna make pockets on the inside, and lining. We can do lining if we want. Okay, so that's that. I remembered to tell you. What else? Plans? Oh, no. I gotta tell you more StitchCon things. This was a gift we got for being attendees, and I'm really excited about it because it's a cooler bag, and I'm getting ready to go to Hilton Head with grandbabies, and so I'm gonna be packing that. And then 2 other prizes that I love. We got this wooden thread holder, which is so great for those Samplers Not Forgotten kits that come with a bunch of, or like a Mill Hill kit that you've got to then separate all the floss out. These are perfect for that, so I was very excited. And then this cool phone holder for the table. This says StitchCon on it, and it folds down. So those were very practical gifts. So every year they do a fundraiser for a local organization to benefit the kids, usually in the school district where Keepsakes, I should have said this, the local needle workshop closest to me is Keepsakes in Cincinnati. And Keepsakes is in the Princeton School District. And there are a lot of needs there. So Barbara always tries to do fundraisers to help the people and the children out at the school there, because her children went to school there and she likes to support her community. I think I'm right on that, her children went to school there. So I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the organization. There was a miscommunication, and so a representative was supposed to be there and wasn't, but there was all kinds of signage. But it was helping children get glasses, because that is so important, and children in need who can't afford glasses really can't learn. They can't learn to read if they can't see. So it was a wonderful cause, and we were excited to support it. So they sold raffle tickets for baskets that were all assembled by employees of Keepsakes and those who helped put on StitchCon. So I didn't win anything in the raffle, but then there was a fantastic auction of items that were donated, and quite a few fabric dyers who had their goods in the annex donated a yard of linen to be auctioned. And so I was the winner of this yard by Needlebeam Designs. And you know, Ween Beans is what is frequently used by Stacy Nash, another love, Stacy Nash. And I think she does a lot of her animal crackers on it. And I know this was the called for fabric for her gingerbread house from Jingle Ball last year. Also, speaking of that, she said that will be available for sale only at Jingle Ball again this year. So if you missed it last year, sign up for Jingle Ball because you can buy it there. I can't remember what it's called, but Lindy Stitches is having another online event in August, in July, and signups are now. Go to Lindy Stitches to get information about that. I signed up. Okay, back to this. So this was a misdye of Ween Beans, and so she called it Funky Beans. Look at some of this modeling. I'm not sure if this part is me, but it could be. I'm sure something fun could be done on this. I did cut it at the table and give a little bit of it to Emma Kay, but this is a whole yard that I got, and there's a whole lot of it that is not modeled. So think of all the fun I can stitch on that, because you know I needed linen. I did not need linen, but I did need to support local kids who need glasses. So I got some linen. Okay, plans. My birthday's coming. I'm doing the daily reminder with the girls. So please feel free to join us. If that is in your stash or on your list, it is not too late to start it, and it's actually a pretty quick stitch. My other plan is a Christmas in July. I did it last year and I really loved it. So July is coming, and I've been saving Joy, which is by Shakespeare's Peddler, and it was a Nashville exclusive. I think you can still get it, right? I love it so much. And this is the floss, which was also a limited edition, but I remember watching Teresa Vanette talk about it. I'm gonna take it out of here so you can see it. And she said she made it so that you can just pick any, you know, pinks and reds to do it, but that's what it looks like. I love it because it's not overly Christmassy for July. It says joy, but we should have joy all year round, right? So I've pulled a couple of fabrics, but I can't decide. This seems to be a theme because last time I couldn't decide for my start. Who is this? Oh, I know. This is Count on Linens. This is Bryce Beauty. It does not call for a pink, but I thought this would be really pretty on a pink. I'm not sure. I think even the pink would show up on it. I might have to change some things. So I'm contemplating that, or Cousin Christy made me buy this. This is the Nicholas Flamel. Is that how you say his name? I believe it's from Etsy. Here's the tag so you can see it. See it? And this is hazelnuts, and it is delicious. And I thought this could be really pretty. So I have to decide. Common sense says stitch it twice, but reason says, Holly, you'll be doing good to stitch it once. So maybe you should vote. Should I do pink or tan? We'll see. But that's what I would like to do in July. I'm gonna be traveling. We're gonna help our neighbor kids get to Maine soon. And my husband is gonna fly with my daughter, who just had ankle replacement 6 weeks ago. She's still on crutches and has a toddler. So he and the girls are gonna fly. I am going to ride in the car 15 hours to Maine with my son-in-law and Graham. So Graham is a pretty easy passenger. He's tube fed. He will need feeds along the way, etc. But I can do some car creating. So I can take this along. Also, we hope to just relax in Maine, and then we're gonna fly to Hilton Head and beach with 7 grandkids. We'll have Ellie and Lila and Milo and Leo and Penny and Rory and Stella in Hilton Head. So we're pretty excited about that. Those babies love the pool and the beach. So that's coming up. Okay, can we break and talk about what I would like to give away? This is a basket I made and I filled for my table made gift at StitchCon. And I made 6, and I'm the 6th person. So I thought I would give this to one of you. This is funny. In my Hilton Head bike, I have what my kids call my bag skit. It fits inside the the metal baskets, you know, like beach bikes have, but things fall through that. So I have a cloth bag that I think I bought on Etsy, and that fits in there so my phone and stuff doesn't fall through, and we call it my basket. So use the word basket if you would like to win this, and I'll stick that in the mail to you. Also, that's not it. Oh, here it is. I thought I grabbed it. I have a lot of yarn, you know, and this one seems very 4th of July-y and seasonal. And I thought, for those of you who knit, because there are many of you, or those of you who are telling me you want to learn to knit, I'm gonna give you this. Use the word yarn. So these are the 2 things. Please be over 18 because I'm gonna have to ask for your address. And please don't use words like giveaway or prize or win, because then the bots get on and make a mess of things and stalk us all. So those are the 2 things that I'm giving away. Now, I'm gonna talk to you about my knitting because I have really been having fun. Mostly 2 things I've been working on. I think, okay, this is another crunkled sock that I'm making. This one's for one of my girls who picked out the yarn. And this yarn is Legacy Fiber Arts, of course, and it's called Portal. Legacy Fiber Arts, Portal sock yarn. And this is what it's looking like. And this is the, I think this is a sock set, so it had the coordinating mini skein for heels and toes and cuffs, but we decided to do this. But look at the texture on the crunkled sock by Kay Jones. So I'm working on that. Knitting is really good car projects for me, so I plan to take that. And then I think I said I was gonna put the sweater away once I got to split the sleeves because it's summer, but here I am, still knitting on this sweater. I split for sleeves. Look how far it's coming. So now all I have to do is go round and round and round. I love purple so much. This is also Legacy Fiber Arts. I'm using two strands together, vanilla bean mohair and lavender fields. I think, oh, where's my, I don't know where my band is, but I think this is lavender fields. Oh, I love it by itself, but when you put it with the mohair, look how much it softens it. Look how, can you see how different that looks? This is called the No Frill Sweater by Petite Knit. And I'm really excited about it. So I think I'm gonna keep working on this. Seems like a good main thing to do, don't you think? I told my husband, we love to sightsee, but we've already done like Bar Harbor down the coast to Boston. And so after the last 6 weeks, I'd just like to sit and stare for a while. So I think we're just gonna get a hotel, hopefully ocean front, seaside, and just relax. But I know us, we'll need to go sightsee and explore. If you have favorite historical sites in New England, recommend them to me, would you? Because we'll be doing that. And then I couldn't help myself. Sue, which is Legacy Fiber Arts, she's Knit 24, and her daughter Chelsea, they are businesswomen together. And I know I talk about this all the time, but Sue has, it's called Knit 24 Periscope on Instagram. And she does a live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we call it Sue O'Clock, those of us in the group, where she talks knitting and stitching. But she just talked about this. This is a fundraiser. I should have looked it up. It's for a camp in the Pacific Northwest for people with speech disabilities, I believe. Am I right, Chelsea and Sue? Either way, get on their website. You'll see this right away on Legacy Fiber Arts, and it's ARTZ. And this is called the Tie-Dye Day. And so they were working on a tie-dye shirt, and that inspired Sue for the color of tie-dye. I kind of want to cast something on right away with that too. And while I was on there, you might as well add some things, right? This is Charlie Sue. I'm always drawn to blues. And this was a color they came out with in January called Champagne Kisses. And I like that it came with two minis. I still haven't started. Remember I was going to start that 100 Acre Wood blanket by Kay Jones that she's doing this summer in her Patreon. And I want to, but I haven't yet. I was going to do it after I, that's what I was going to do. Once I got split for sleeves on that sweater, I was going to start that. But that seems like a harder travel project because I will have to like take lots of different ones. So I don't think I'm going to start it till I get back. So there's that. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, I did get one more thing. I said I hadn't bought much. I saw on Instagram that Sambry Stitches had some, her grand pet had some medical needs, and so she was trying to sell off some things to raise money, and she had some vintage samplers, so I bought this. I now have 3 vintage samplers, and that's probably enough. I don't need more. They're right back there. One is framed and one is just lying on that credenza thing. This has just been on top of it, but I thought that was really pretty. And I was helping Becca, so I had to, right? Seems important. Last time I showed you my letter from Penelope, my granddaughter, and this week I got another one, so I thought I would show you. I love pen paling with my grands. My granddaughter Lila sent me something probably 3 weeks ago, but there is something going on in Indianapolis with their postal system. Am I right, those of you who have to deal with that? Things go to die in Indianapolis postal system. The last time she sent me something, it came like completely torn in half and taped together. I also got an empty envelope one time from Lila, and that's very sad when you're a 7-year-old. Okay, so this is my card from Penny, and it included this feather, and she says, P.S. I think it's a feather. I love her. So, because you enjoyed the last time, there's that. Do I have anything else to tell you? I don't think so. I hope you're having a good summer. I bet it's hot where you are too. It's just summer, and that's what it does here. We are just having lots of fun, and I'm excited to see more grandkids, and that is all. I hope to keep making, and I hope you keep making. I would love to hear from you. I would love it if you're enjoying it here, if you'll subscribe and like and comment, because I really do enjoy hearing from you all. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you'll make today a really great day, because today's all we're given, and we got to make the most of it, and we got to love each other. Okay, talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye.